masters, brothers and sisters. Thank you so much for those who have made time to be with us this evening to join this virtual Zoom session. We are very happy to see all of your faces, to have this opportunity to meet all of you again and learn together to deepen our understanding of the truth, right, and of Tao. So all of us have had the opportunity to acquire Tao, which is a really precious and very special opportunity in our lives. But have all of you ever wondered why is it that in our day-to-day existence, when we see the news, when we read the news, we still see so many saddening examples of people who, despair, who feel that their life has no purpose, or who feel that they don't have a direction in life, right? Sometimes we see the news and we see young people, 17, 18-year-old, still feeling very lost in their lives and struggling to find the meaning of their existence. So this is something that all of us through different generations experience, right? The search for the true meaning of life, especially when there are so many sufferings all around us. There is pain, there is suffering, there are conflicts, and sometimes we feel um, lost or trapped, right? What is the real solution to all of this? So, in fact, Buddha Shakyamuni had already discovered the true answer to all of these questions in life. And some of the earliest examples of the truth that Buddha Shakyamuni himself had discovered were captured in the Four Noble Truths, which is the topic of our sharing tonight. Right. So this topic is a very important topic because it's not just about the true meaning of life, but it actually touches on how we choose to live our lives from now on, especially as Tao cultivators. So on this very important topic, we have the opportunity tonight to invite Sister Sim, our speaker Sim, to provide a more detailed explanation about the Four Noble Truths. And let's all learn together from Sister Sim, who will be sharing on this topic in more detail. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Sister Sim to share on this topic of Four Noble Truths. Thank you, Sister Sim.
Thank you, Brother Wang. Good evening, Headmaster Lim, all masters, namaste, all brothers and sisters. I thank heaven's grace and teachers' virtues, the great compassion and vows of our grand patriarch and holy teachers, blessings from our grand elder and elders, guidance from our masters, my introducer and guarantor, and also everyone here today for giving me this opportunity to learn to share this topic with you, the Four Noble Truths. From the previous lesson 3 weeks ago, we learned about the 5 periods of the Buddha's teachings. The first period is Avatamsaka period. The content was very deep because the targeted audience was bodhisattvas of high realization. Only they could understand. And we learned that the duration of this first period was 21 days, delivered in some heaven realm. But to the human eye, Buddha was just in deep meditation under the Bodhi tree. Therefore, at that point of time, people were not aware of this first period yet. When Buddha was ready to give teaching to mankind, this entered into the second period, the Agama period. First, he wanted to find those who could quickly understand his teaching, the wise and learned one. So he first thought about his former teachers, but they were no longer alive. Then he remembered the 5 monks. Earlier on, he had practicing asceticism together, which is the extreme self-control. Until one day, Gautama realized the practice was useless. He was almost starved to death. Then he accepted the offering of milk rice from a shepherd lady. The five monks were then disappointed in him and left him. So if you see on this picture, that's the 5 monks. So Buddha set off from the Bodhi tree. He traveled 100 over miles on foot to the deer park in Sanath. So when I was preparing for this lesson, I saw most material says that it was these 5 men who has the very good fortune to receive the first sermon the Buddha ever gave. And the first teaching the Buddha spoke on was the Four Noble Truths. I was wondering why the first sermon happened in second period. Because the Four Noble Truths was recorded in the earliest Buddhist scriptures. At that time, they were not aware of the first period as the Avatamsaka Sutra was only compiled centuries later. So therefore, in human realm, this is the first sermon. I have these things blocking. Let me just, close them first. Okay. So this is the first sermon delivered, and the Four Noble Truths was meant for ordinary humans like you and me that we could understand. It was taught throughout Buddha's lifetime, even right till his last days to the last disciple he accepted. It is the core, the essence of the Buddha's teaching. Everything else the Buddha taught can be seen as an expansion, clarification, or application of these four truths. It is fundamental to all the different schools of Buddhism, be it Mahayana or Theravada, gradual practice or sudden enlightenment, etc. So, just now, Brother Wang already said this is a very important topic, so we must learn it well. By the way, during my presentation, I was wondering why the English and Chinese material explain the Second Noble Truth differently. So, English versions are usually translated from the earliest Pali scriptures, and I suppose the same for Nepali versions, whereas the Chinese versions were from different Sanskrit-based scriptures and translated by different great masters. So some differences in meaning naturally appear. So I have decided to use the Chinese version in case it sounded different from what you have heard before. That is the reason why. But the essence of the topic remains the same. So what does it mean by noble truth? The word noble does not refer to the high social class, but it refers to the awakened, the enlightened ones, like saints, sages, arahats, and Buddha. These truths are not just talking about ideas, they are realized, meaning already achieved, proven, attained by the noble ones. 2 leads to nobility, meaning understand and practicing these truths can change ordinary beings into noble ones, going to enlightenment. 3, these truths are called truths because they are universally true and timeless, means they are objective regardless of culture and background. They are valid through all times. The Four Noble Truths talks about the reality of suffering, the cause behind it, the possibility of ending it, and the path leading to the end of suffering. Here I have listed the Pali, Sanskrit, and Nepali term, dukkha, samudaya, nirodha, and magga. Practicing these Four Noble Truths can lead us to enlightenment. Here is an analogy to the Four Noble Truths. Firstly, a doctor identifies that something is wrong. A patient is unwell. Secondly, the doctor finds the truth, whether it is virus or bacterial infections or poison, etc. So in my job as a programmer, this is called root cause analysis. Thirdly, doctor tells that the illness can be treated. Patient can go back to original healthy state. Fourthly, doctor prescribes the treatment. There are two sets of cause and effect here. First noble truth, the suffering or the illness are the effects, and the second noble truth tells what are the cause. Third noble truth, the end of suffering or good health are the effects, and the fourth noble truth tell how to achieve that. So first noble truth, the truth of suffering, dukkha. The Chinese word is ku, meaning bitter or miserable. I think most of you are familiar with Prince Siddhartha's stories. From the 3 visits outside the palace, he saw aging, sickness, and death. First time he recognized them in his life. He was very disturbed of the existence of these sufferings, and they are unavoidable for all people, regardless of wealth or social class. Everyone will experience them. So seeing these sufferings triggered the prince to think about the real meaning of life. So now we could better understand why Buddha taught about dukkha as the first noble truth. Also, do you still remember what was the first lesson during the 2-day Dharma class? It was the true meaning of life and the great Tao. The lesson talks about these 8 main sufferings. Due to time constraint, I can't go through all the details here. You can either do a print screen, or since our lesson is recorded, you can take your time to go through them later. So since we have this body, we cannot avoid birth, aging, sickness, and death. Almost everyone encounters separation from loved ones. Encountering those we dislike, we are forced to work or live with them, and we don't always get what we want, like trying hard but failing to get a job, partner, dream, enough money, good health, etc. And in brief, the 8 sufferings includes all the above 7 sufferings. Because we have this body and mind, we cling to them as mine, as me, as myself. You see all the I over here. When I hate, when I can't let go, when I'm not happy, when I can't stand, when we are not satisfied with the situations, our mental and emotional reactions gives us these negative feelings like resentment, insecurity, fear, grief, anger, sorrow, mental stress, all kinds of these internal sufferings. These are all the different forms of dukkha that makes us suffer. All these sufferings is like an unavoidable force, invisible weight that is pressing on all sentient beings, disturbing our body and mind, torturing us that we cannot be at peace, making us feel helpless, no choice, and stuck in life. You might be thinking, but isn't there happiness in life too? Indeed, that's why most people try to escape sufferings by chasing moments of happiness, such as buy a new phone, get a good meal, go for a holiday. These things make us feel happy at first, for a while, but over time that joy fades away. The excitement wears off, the satisfaction disappears. Then the feeling of something lacking returns. Suffering is still there. So we look for the next pleasure, and then the next, again and again. But over time, it becomes harder and harder to find something that truly satisfies. We end up exhausted chasing temporary relief, yet never truly at peace. Now you may think that's just material stuff. True, but even non-material happiness is impermanent. The Buddha pointed out wholesome joys like the warmth of friendship and family, good health, a peaceful mind. These are all valuable, but even these cannot last forever. When we lose them, we suffer. That is why the Buddha taught us to see clearly. Whatever exists in time and space is impermanent. Like pleasures, youth, relationship, our health, even our life. None of them can be held onto forever. They are just temporary. And no matter how we try, we cannot escape the universal truths of aging, sickness, and death. When we stop chasing these things that don't last, we can start to look for a deeper kind of peace, a peace that doesn't come and go. Seeing and accepting the truth that life has suffering is not being negative. It is actually the first step towards wisdom. The Buddha didn't teach this to make us feel hopeless. He wanted us to clearly understand what suffering is so that we can find the right way to deal with it. It is like going to the doctor. The doctor's first job is to tell you that you are sick. If you don't believe you are sick, you won't follow the treatment. But once you accept that something is wrong, you'll be ready to take the next steps to get better. The second noble truth, the truth of the cause of suffering. So when we look at these 8 main sufferings, what could be the cause? Mainly, is it because we have this life and this body? This is the result of karma, including both good and bad karma. Thus, we experience both fortune and sufferings. Now, since I have this body, unavoidably I will age. My white hair begins to grow. Do I suffer because of that? Just now we talked about dukkha. It can also be translated as dissatisfaction. So if I am not satisfied with my white hair, I suffer. Or if I am satisfied or simply don't care about my white hair, I don't suffer, right? So what determines whether I am satisfied or not with my white hair? It is craving. If I crave to look young, it is attachment to my body, my youth, my look, my image, so and so. And all this craving or attachment arise from the mind poisons, klesha, the greed, hatred, delusion, arrogance, doubt, etc. The cause of suffering in Chinese is ji. It has the meaning of accumulate, collect, or gather. A seed can grow when all the right conditions are gathered, like soil, water, and sunlight. Similarly, when the right conditions of karma and mind poisons are gathered, karma can ripen into sufferings. So I grow white hair as a fact from aging. And if I have craving and attachment, I suffer from this number 2, aging, as I feel disappointed or anxious that I'm no longer young. And number 5, separated from the black hair I love. 6, encountered with the white hair I hate. But if I don't have these mind poisons, I don't suffer. It is just white hair, a different color. This is a simple example to illustrate how mind poison causes suffering. Sometimes we feel unhappy because we believe something is missing in our life. I don't have a nice house, a good job, good education, enough money, etc. Because of these thoughts, we may feel frustrated, discouraged, or even hopeless. But even if we eventually get what we want, will we truly be satisfied? There are many people in the world who are rich or powerful, yet still feel lonely, anxious, or unhappy. Why? This shows that suffering doesn't really come from outside. It comes from inside, from our craving and greed, the mind poisons. If our mind is always chasing, always comparing, always feeling not enough, we will suffer no matter what we have. But if we can understand our inner causes, the craving and greed, we can begin to find peace and satisfaction even in simple conditions. Okay, so when we strongly dislike a person, event, or things, hatred may lead to harmful actions through body, speech, and mind, such as violence, harsh speech, and ill will. These unwholesome actions create bad karma. Mind poisons are the cause, and suffering is the result. And these klesha mind poisons arise from avidya, ignorance. In Chinese, wu ming literally means not bright or not clear, lacks of wisdom and clarity of mind. Imagine the actions we take when our mind is in this dark state. Example, in the past, we didn't know eating meat was wrong. Out of ignorance and craving, we enjoy eating it without recognizing the karma we were creating. One day, when we face illness such as cancer or suffer an accident, we cry out, "Why me? What caused this?" Do we want that? The truth is, these seeds were planted by our own actions, rooted in ignorance. If we really understand the law of cause and effect and see how the mind poisons give rise to karma, then with awareness and wisdom, we can remove these inner causes. When the causes are gone, karma has less chance to ripen into painful results, and suffering can be reduced or even ended. It is just like a doctor treating illness. Only by knowing the root cause can he prescribe the right medicine. And in the Avatamsaka Sutra, which is before Agama period, before four Noble Truths, Buddha said to the heavenly beings, "Amazing, truly amazing. All sentient beings has the Buddha's wisdom and virtues." We all have Buddha nature, as we always talk about. It is because of delusion and clinging, all these mind poisons, the cause of suffering, that they cannot realize it. As in us, sentient beings cannot go back to our Buddha nature to attain Buddhahood. Once free from these mind poisons, our full and natural wisdom will appear right here and now. In short, clear off cause of suffering, we can attain Buddhahood. That is third noble truth. Just like we were originally healthy, then we got sick. Once we recover from our sickness, we can go back to being healthy again. So the third noble truth of the end of suffering, Nirodha. In Chinese, 灭, meaning extinguish, put out, turn off. Turn off what? The mind poisons, the cause of suffering. Okay, theory we can understand, but is it possible? Just like a patient needs to believe that their illness can be cured before they are willing to follow the doctor's treatment, we also need to believe that suffering can truly end in order to go to the next step. So what did Dr. Buddha do? Wait, did I jump out? Okay. So he did the first clinical trial on himself. And at the age of 35, under the Bodhi tree, he realized nirvana. Can you still see
Sorry
my
to
screen?
interrupt, Sister Sim. You
I
might have
think
to
my
reshare. Yes,
okay. Yeah, that's
thank
why
you.
just now it wait,
Thank you. Yes, we can see it now.
yeah, so Buddha realized nirvana at the age of 35 under the Bodhi tree. So nirvana is not some faraway heaven or imported from outside. It is the state of mind where the three poisons, greed, hatred, and ignorance are absent, completely extinguished. Then there is no more clinging, no more fear, no more dissatisfaction. Then we can go back to our original state, always pure, always peaceful, the ultimate happiness, a mind beyond suffering. Without mind poisons, karma doesn't ripen, and eventually we can achieve liberation. That is, rebirth ends, no more samsara. This part will be explained in another lesson, the 12 links of dependent origination. So the Buddha became living proofs that freedom from suffering is not just a nice idea, but it is possible, it is real. And most importantly, the Buddha said this state is attainable by anyone, all beings. To be honest, I was wondering, since Buddha was still alive and after enlightenment, surely he still has to go through aging, sickness, and death. We also heard about story like the Buddha had 3 days of headache as the karmic result of hitting a big fish in a past life. So did he still suffer? So the key point is pain is a part of life, but suffering is how we relate and respond to that pain. Similarly, aging, illness, and death are unavoidable part of life for any living beings. With mind poisons, we resist fear and attach. That is, we respond negatively, is what causes suffering. Here's some examples of how we can respond positively without mind poisons, the wisdom view. Again, you can take a print screen to go through later. Just now, we said accepting that life has suffering is the first step towards wisdom. So instead of resisting, we face all the situations with acceptance, telling ourselves, this is my karma. This is my karmic result. This body is impermanent. Life doesn't last forever. Accepting aging, illness, and death as part of our life. Instead of self-pity, having resentment, anger, or mental stress, accepting the facts of impermanence should motivate us forward. We don't take for granted we will still have good health and being alive tomorrow. We learn to be grateful, to make good use of our limited time, to live each day with care. We remind ourselves to be mindful and compassionate, to use the chance to practice patience and calmness, to cultivate merit and wisdom, while our physical body still allows us to. So back to the question. Yes, the Buddha still feel physical pain and went through aging and death after his enlightenment at 35 years old. But no, he did not suffer mentally because suffering is rooted in the mind's clinging, not in the physical sensation in itself. And we too can attain this state of inner peace when we have extinguished our greed, hatred, and ignorance. Okay. The fourth noble truth, the path to end suffering, Marga. Does this Chinese character look familiar to you? Tao, the same Tao as in Tao Center Acquire Tao. You may already know it has many meanings like the source, the truth, the law of nature. In here, it is the path, the way that leads to the end of suffering. In short, one must cultivate Tao to end suffering. Just like a doctor prescribes medicine after diagnosis, the path is the treatment plan given by Buddha to end suffering. So in the first sermon to the 5 monks, Buddha talked about the Noble Eightfold Path, which is a practical guide to ethical conduct, mental discipline, and wisdom, providing a framework for overcoming suffering. Subsequently, this framework is enriched with more Buddha's different teachings to suit different audience. Because of the depth of the Noble Eightfold Path, next week we have an entire session dedicated to this. So over here, I will not go into details, but only give you a glimpse about the 8 practices. One, the right view, know the truth. Right intention, free your mind of evil. Right speech, say nothing that hurts others. Right action, work for the good of others. Right livelihood, respect life. Right effort, resist evil. Right mindfulness, control your thoughts. And right concentration, practice meditation. So from here, you can see everything has to be right. Quite obvious, right? As the path is to attain nirvana, Buddhahood, right? Just last week, during the Singapore 2-day Dharma class, Holy Teacher told a story. Let's say you got a prescription from a very famous doctor, and you have so much confidence the prescription can cure all your sickness. You even set up an altar praying to the prescription sincerely, even going around the altar chanting repeatedly, take 2 times a day, 2 pills each time, 2 times a day, 2 pills each time. Does it cure your sickness? No, right? Because you never took the pill. So after understanding the path, the theory, the most important thing is to walk the path. Only then we can get to the destination, the heaven. Now, let's recap the 4 noble truths. 1, suffering exists. 2, it has cause. 3, it can end. 4, there is a path. In other words, we have problem. Why the problem? There is a solution. How to resolve? There is this famous Buddhism phrase, Bodhisattvas fear the cause. Sentient beings fear the results. Recently, my classmate's wife passed away from cancer. I went to the wake. Another classmate asked, why do people get cancer? I could only quietly answer inside my mind, karma. To someone who doesn't believe the law of cause and effect, they could only passively fear the result. Since we already understand the 4 noble truths, the 2 sets of cause and effect here, we can actively seek to work on the causes, remove the cause of suffering, and get on to the path. Now the question is, how do we personally commit to this journey? Firstly, we need to have vows, the willingness. Therefore, in Mahayana Buddhism, there is the 4 great vows. You might already be familiar with. So, sentient beings are countless. I vow to liberate them. So when Prince Siddhartha determined to leave home to find a cure for suffering, because suffering is unavoidable and pressing to everyone, the first noble truth, it was out of courage and compassion, not only for himself, but for all beings. My poisons are endless. I vow to end them all. Second noble truth, my poisons are the cause of suffering, so we must cut the root. Dharma teachings are boundless. I vow to learn them all. So to awaken ourselves and to be able to liberate others, we need to learn and practice the limitless path to end suffering, the fourth noble truth. And Buddhahood is supreme. I vow to attain it. Because the end of suffering is nirvana, we aim to achieve it. That's the third noble truth. So with the understanding of four noble truths, we could now better understand the four great vows. Now, comes to the white period. So how do we ensure we get on and commit to the path of cultivation? So in this holy scripture, you can see 5 steps here that we need to take. Then we can get to this lotus flower, symbolizes enlightenment, nirvana, and we'll be able to see our heavenly mother. This is the third noble truth. But first, we need to acquire Tao. During the ceremony, when speaker explaining the 3 treasures, they also told us we were originally from heaven. That's why we are supposed to, that's where we are supposed to return to. Also, during the Tao acquisition ceremony, Laughing Buddha or holy teachers via master's hand open up our secret portal, which is also our wisdom gate. This helps us to learn. Easier to remove when our wisdom gate open, it is easier to receive Dharma and truth. The 6 patriarchs said that one lamp can break 1,000 years of darkness. One wisdom can destroy 10,000 years of ignorance. So learning Dharma, the truth, gives us wisdom. By the way, the word enlightenment comes from the word light. Then lighten, enlighten, and enlightenment. So learning is like lit up a candle. The light can break 1,000 years of darkness. So remember, ignorance, avidya, in Chinese is literally not bright. So therefore, it is very important to learn Dharma so that it brightens up our mind with wisdom so we can clear away this ignorance. Then, second step, we need to cultivate, to clear away our bad habits, bad temper, bad thoughts. Sweep away the mind poisons, the cause of suffering. And how to repay karmic debt. We need to have enough merits to repay. We are encouraged to practice the 3 contributions according to our abilities to accumulate merits. Okay, first, let me share a well-known Buddhist story. There was a very poor man who constantly pitied himself as the poorest in the world. A wise monk, wishing to help him, asked him to sell away his poverty. Who would buy poverty, right? So the wise monk explained to him, giving to others what little you have, even a kind word, a smile, or a helping hand. Every act of giving lightens your poverty. The more you give, the less poor you become. Okay, so since we understand the law of cause and effect, karma, we know that the more we contribute, the more blessings we will eventually receive. In fact, the 3 contributions are not only to help others, they are to help us grow and transform. So one of the 3 contributions being dharmic contribution. Heaven doesn't have a loudspeaker to announce all beings, you should return to heaven, right? So therefore, we disciples of holy teachers, we must speak on heaven's behalf to spread the Dharma and guide others. This can be delivered formal lessons, or like many of you are good at, sharing the Tao with your family and friends is a form of contribution. The more we speak of the Tao and Dharma, the more our wisdom grows and our mind becomes clearer. Another contribution is service contribution. After attending the 2-day Dharma class, what should you be doing next? Be a service personnel, just like all of us from Singapore, Malaysia, Taiwan, America, or anywhere. We travel to Nepal to serve our holy mission. If no service personnel, how can Tao propagation continue? However, since we can't speak your language and we can't stay there for a long term, we need local service personnel. We need people to take care of the Tao Center, attend to fellow Tao brothers and sisters, organize Dharma classes, be translator, etc. Tao propagation requires everyone's contribution of effort and teamwork. And if we wish for a healthy and strong body and a bright spiritual future, we should gladly offer our time and effort joyfully serving in the Tao Center, such as mopping the floor, cleaning the toilets, or assisting in events. Every duty has to be done by someone. There is no duty that is lowly. This is the spirit of willingly enduring hardship. By stepping out of our comfort zone and taking on responsibilities, we cultivate virtues and blessings, which in turn can help reduce or even eliminate greater suffering in the future. One more contribution is material contribution. At the end of the 2-day Dharma class, one of the 2 vows you have made is vow of contribution. Vow to contribute material and words of Dharma. So Dharmic contribution, I have already explained. Material contribution is to donate money to assist in the spread of Tao, such as help with Tao Center and Dharma class expenses, donate for the rent, the renovation, etc. Or we pay for our air ticket for holy trips is also another form of contribution. Material contribution brings the effect of good fortune, as many scriptures already taught. The more we think we are poor, the more we should break that vicious cycle by giving. The act reduces stinginess, greed, and craving, aligning with the practice of Dana Paramita, the perfection of giving, 布施波罗蜜. Next step, Buddha already showed us the path to end suffering. Buddha can't bring us directly to nirvana. We have to walk the path ourselves. Put all the theory, the Dharma we learn to practice. So when we carry out these 3 steps, we are fulfilling our vows and also accumulating merits at the same time. However, our motivation should not be centered on earning merits. Rather, these actions are our responsibility and natural duty as practitioners walking the path. That said, the reality is that we do need sufficient merits to repay our karmic debts. Without enough merits, it is difficult to transform our suffering and progress on the path of cultivation. So all these 5 steps are not sequential, meaning that we cannot wait until we finish learning, then start cultivating. They are to be carried out all together. We learn while we speak, cultivate while we serve, practicing all at the same time throughout our whole lifetime until our last breath. And our grand patriarch, matriarch, grand elder, and many seniors have proven to us that attainment is possible. When they left the world, their bodies were soft, just like sleeping. This phenomena cannot be explained scientifically yet. Heavenly Mother wants to give us proof, give us confidence that cultivate Tao can escape samsara, reach nirvana, and eventually free us from suffering. So in what period? These are the 5 steps that we need to follow. It is suitable for everyone, not just for monks and nuns, but also for cultivators at home like us. And remember, during the 2-day class in Lumbini in June, Shakyamuni Buddha came. So I apologize, we haven't have got time to translate the Holy Scripture of that day, but I have extracted a few lines relevant to today's topic to share with you. So only you can guide your true nature across to liberation. When you recognize suffering is boundless, you will end its cause. So after 2,500 years, Buddha is still talking about the Four Noble Truths. This once again proves that they are noble truths. They are timeless and still valid. Buddha has already shown us the path, and our masters have kindly arranged for all these Zoom classes and multiple visits to Nepal a few times a year to help us learn and give us opportunities to speak, serve, and practice. But ultimately, we must walk the path ourselves. Cultivation depends on ourselves. Just like no one can help us to eat to satisfy our hunger. No one can fall sick or get old on behalf of us. So this a guide to genuine cultivation and real practice. This is a series our Buddha Qigong mercifully began in Penang last October. So each time he shares 2 key points. And when different Buddha visit, he invites them to contribute their guidance as well. So this is one of Shakyamuni Buddha's guidance. Although we cannot change the impermanence of birth, aging, illness, and death, but we can make use of our limited lifespan to train, transform, and elevate our minds, meaning to cultivate our mind, so as to cut off the seeds of reincarnation in this life. So we have to clear off the mind poisons and karma and realize the eternal and unchanging absolute truth. So that we can attain enlightenment, nirvana, or attain Tao. So with this, I hope you can understand Shakyamuni's Buddha's compassion and his wish for us. Lastly, I wish everyone can cultivate and achieve attainment in this lifetime. With this, I end my sharing for today. I hope I have explained it clearly. If there is anything lacking or any mistake, I seek forgiveness from heaven, especially from Shakyamuni Buddha, correction from our masters, and all of your understanding. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Sister Sim. Um, I think we are all very privileged to have the opportunity to hear the very detailed explanation once again of the Four Noble Truths. And as Sister Sim had said, right, 2,500 years since the Buddha was first born in Lumbini in Nepal. And all of these truths are still so relevant in our lives today. When we talk about suffering, isn't it something that we all are still experiencing and going through today? And when just now Sister Sim spoke about the state of being unenlightened or in the darkness, so many sentient beings are still in that state right now, whether they are suffering in war-torn areas and countries and zones, whether they are suffering from poverty, from hunger, and so many other challenges. Even in our day-to-day life in society, those who are still struggling to make ends meet, to provide for their families, that's a state of suffering, the state of being in the darkness, right? And yet, the Buddha had already told us very clearly, identify the cause of the suffering, know that this suffering can end, and this is the path towards ending all of this suffering. So, when we look at these Four Noble Truths, we have actually been given the answer. And now that all of us in this journey of cultivation and in this journey of cultivating Tao together, there are very practical steps this is not just a matter of a spiritual teaching or theories, right? I think as Sister Sim just now has explained to us very clearly, there are very clear and real opportunities for us to learn, for us to cultivate, for us to speak the Dharma and share it with more people, share about Tao and the goodness of Tao with more people, and to contribute through service, right? By helping out at the town center, helping with all the classes, even simple things like putting our energy and time to help organize a lesson or a class. That's a form of service as well, so that eventually we can hopefully attain Tao just to follow the example of our Grand Patriarch, Patriarch, Matriarch, all our grand elders and elders as well. So, so this is a very precious opportunity. Cultivating Tao is not just a theory, right? So it's actually very real. It's very practical, and it's something that all of us have an opportunity to do together. So thank you so much, Sister Sim, for the detailed explanation about the Four Noble Truths, as well as the practical guide, right? Reminder for all of us that we can pursue the path towards ending suffering. And so now I'd like to invite our participants here to see if there are any questions. Very happy to see Brother Gurung as well, I think, joining us. So we have more participants who have come online since the beginning of the lesson. Thank you for joining and taking time to listen. Are there any questions or comments? Maybe Brother Ram, Brother Ting as well.
Brother Pritam.
No questions
Sorry,
or
Brother
comments.
Pritam.
Very good presentation, Sister Sim. Keep it up.
Thank you, thank
I'm
you.
very happy we are
Have
learning.
you heard about the Four Noble Truths before in your Buddhist society?
We just
Have
now
you learned?
learning only.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Maybe
no any
Brother
comments, Sister
Pritam.
Sim. Very good.
Thank you, thank you.
Brother Pritam has probably also learned of the Four Noble Truths before, right? Brother Ting, I think you're on mute.
Namaste. Today our Sister Sim presented very excellent. I am feeling very well now.
Thank you, Brother Ting.
Still now I am suffering little bit health issue. I am remembering a connection with this event. Why we are in suffering this time? These are many causes. No. Previously I have a bad food habit, maybe no exercise, no good lifestyle. Due to this cause, I am suffering in 50 age of my 50. In my same class friend, uh, Rajkumari, she is passed away in before 4 years. Before 4 years, same this issue. And one boy class friend also passed away in 3 years before by the brain hemorrhage. I remember why same I am suffering same issue like a gallbladder problem and hypertension. They are already passed away. Now I am okay. Maybe I have do something better. So I am still in good to do some good things for future. This is my experience. Previously, when our diagnosis is on the doctor, not out report, I am feeling maybe that blockage causes maybe stone or tumor. This tumor is dangerous, stone is normal. I see there is not only two stone. I am very happy. Oh, just only stone. It's for me good gift for my previous good karma. Otherwise, it may be any difficult. So Today we very clearly understood about this Four Noble Truths. No, every person has suffering in this world. King also suffering in our Nepal has 24 since before 24 years. Our King Virendra, his whole family in the one night all are died, all are murdered.
Oh.
In the all Nepalese army protection in the that mid place in the palace one night 9:57 maybe 9:57 p.m. at night all family are one place murdered and that time we are maybe I'm 24 years old that time I have first child 3 years my son is and oh that king they are all protected they have good palace if nobody can attack but they all family died in the one night why maybe many cause and effect so this karma vipaka like karma vipaka everybody have accept it and before coming to creditor collect to our that karma debit we should have to pay sincerely following the Buddha rule for noble truth, eight noble path, and 5 disciplines. Now we are on the way learning. We are just only Sister Sim saw that later 4 steps. Now we are in the first step. Just when we pass the 3 steps, I am very happy. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing, Brother Ting. We are all on this journey together, right? So let's support each other in that process because for so many people, they are still stuck in that, step of suffering all the time, but not knowing the cause for it, not knowing how to deal with it, not knowing how to end the suffering. But we are starting to, go on this path together. So let's invite more people as well, as they go through their suffering and they're still lost in that process. How can we help more of them? And that is the heart of the Buddha, right? It's the compassion of the Buddha to want to help as many beings as possible get out of this darkness of suffering. And so now that we know and we have found the path, let's all practice together and support each other in that journey. And exactly Noble Eightfold Path is the topic that we are going to discuss actually next week in the next lesson, because the Buddha had also very compassionately given us a very specific guideline, right? So not only telling us this is the way to end suffering, but also given us specific elements, right mindfulness, right concentration, right livelihood, right effort, all of that, right? So there are so many elements of our lives that we can improve and continue to change for the better. And so let's all go on this journey together. And very happy that we are able to share this across different countries, different time zones. In fact, tonight we are really all very privileged because we have our masters and speaker from the United States, waking up very early, making the sacrifice to be with us as well. Master Ku, who is flying off to Nepal tomorrow and spending time to be with everyone as well. So this is a very precious bond that we must always cherish and treasure. So at this point, I'd like to ask if there are any other questions. Maybe some of the other brothers and sisters who are here, Brother Chandra.
Pritam brother. Hello, Pritam brother.
Yes, Brother Pritam.
नमस्ते प्रितमजी केही छ आज त जिज्ञासा आज लामो समय एटेन्सन भएर बस्नुभयो हजुर
Yeah, we are very happy because of the Master Lim. He give us to opportunity to learn the Buddha. Actually, we born in Buddha land, but we doesn't know about the Buddha roots. So when we meet Master Lim and all our Tao family, so now we're learning from zero, going to 0, 1, 2, step by step.
Yeah.
Yeah. All our mindset and all our we are growing the Hindu culture. So all our mind is covered by Hinduism. So now slowly it's going to opening by Tao, our roots. So now we are getting better and better. So we hope in future we will very, going to progress our life. So we will be change our life. So day by day we have to practice and we have to cultivate and then share our knowledge to others, our Buddha natures. We hope so one day not only our country, we expect the whole countries will be the very peace, something like that. I'm now very positive with this way. Last time we know in Nepal there is many religions, so we also confuse which religion is our religions. So now when we meet with the Tao, our families, now our eyes going to now opening. So this is the right way. So just now, Sister Sim also, she's presenting some, the 4 novels, and then last time the Buddha Wong also, and the Master Lims, all are they trying to open our eyes. What is the real our religions?
Yes,
Okay.
and actually, thank you so much, Brother Ram. And we all want to learn the source, right? The origin, the roots
Yes.
of all the religious teachings, because all the teachings around the world, in different parts of the world, guide people towards doing good, right? And becoming better and improving themselves. But actually, the source and the roots of the truth are the same. And that's what we are looking to learn and understand more deeply. Hopefully in the future, if there is an opportunity, we'll also be able to share more on a lesson about Tao and religions, right? So please, continue to join the Zoom classes because there are so many more topics to discover together. And there is no end to learning. Like learning, like what Sister Sim was saying, is like lighting a candle, right? So
Yes.
and that candle needs to keep burning brighter and brighter so that the darkness of this world can be enlightened, right? And so that light can be truly a beacon for so many more people and so many more communities around us. So thank you for your sharing, Brother Ram. And perhaps now I'd like to invite our headmaster or all our masters if there is any additional guidance to share with all of us.
杜德是可以跟大家分享一下，说几句话也好。来，
Thank you, Master Lim. Thank you, Master Tu.
Yeah, thank you, Master Lim, and thank you for this opportunity to join this online Zoom session. I learned so much, so thank you, Sister Sim, for your presentation as well. And thank you. I'm so happy to see all of our Dao brothers from Nepal, Brother Ram, Brother Teen, everybody here online, and all of our Dao brothers from Singapore, Malaysia, also Indonesia. And we are all very blessed to be learning about the Dao, the root, together as a Dao family worldwide, right? Because it is very important for us as we live in the sentient world, right? As Sister Sim mentioned, pain is unavoidable. It's gonna, right? But suffering, how we respond, is a matter of our choice, how we decide to respond and react, right? And we can respond positively through the Tao cultivation, through the spiritual learning that we're doing, that Master Lim is really sponsoring and gathering us all here. So I want to thank you, Master Lim, again for this opportunity. And I hope to see you all again, Master Lim, maybe in November in Nepal when you open the temple at Kathmandu. I have shared that with Master Chen and others, and we will connect to finalize the details. Hope to see you then for sure. But thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Master Tu. Thank you, Master Tu, for your guidance. And yes, I mean the center in Kathmandu, in fact, there will be Headmaster Lim has been very kind and generous to provide even more learning opportunities for all of our brothers and sisters. So there was an announcement that we shared in the group just earlier in the week about a one-day class that is going to happen in Kathmandu very soon. So we encourage more of our brothers and sisters, especially those who are in Kathmandu, to join the one-day class because it's a very special opportunity to have everyone together in the new Tao Center over there as well. So, but before I kind of announce and remind everyone of the details, perhaps Headmaster Lim or any of our other masters, if you'd like to share some guidance for our brothers and sisters.
我们可以邀请鲁宾尼的道亲可以参与这个30号的这个班程，因
好
为林伟文林短是会在的。
好，谢谢林传师慈悲。
他们都认识。
So Headmaster Lim would like to invite our Lumbini Tao brothers and sisters, if possible, to join the Kathmandu class as well, the one-day class on Saturday, 30th of August. And it's a full day, 8:30 in the morning until 4 p.m. in the afternoon, because Master Lin Wei Wen from Taiwan, that you all met during the Dharma class in Lumbini, he will also be present at the one-day class. So hopefully, if you're able to join, we'd like to encourage you all to come and join us in the Kathmandu Tao Center as well on the 30th of August.
顾转师也在。
Yes, and Master Ku will be there as well. So,
Yi 转师。
yes, and Master Yi. So there are so many masters who will be present. So it's such a special opportunity to learn from all of them and hear directly from all of them as well. So note down the date and the timing, Saturday, 30th of August. So that is at the end of this month, 8:30 in the morning until 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And the details of the location and all of that, you can find it in the WhatsApp group as well. And please try to come and join the one-day class.
不懂罗兄那个 Zoom 不懂可以下到了，是吧？1天半如果 Zoom 我们可以用 Zoom 来连接起来，他们没办法来的也可以听。
补习不大会，
不总可以吗？拜贤到时
都是在看。
台湾解释他们会，到时再下。
是他的。
You got Wi-Fi there, I think.
有
the Wi-Fi is working, brother Tin. The Wi-Fi in this Tao Center. OK 看其他短师陈讲师有没有还有说顾短师顾短师明天就到这个加德满都嘛Kathmandu.
So Master Ku will be traveling to Kathmandu tomorrow.
Yeah.
We wish her safe travels and hopefully it's a safe journey to reach Kathmandu.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to Kathmandu and take a bus to the Pokhara the day after tomorrow, and I very enjoyed this opportunity to learn from Sister Shen, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Master
Thank
Koo.
you.
这样没什么事，我们就可以下课了啊。
谢谢林跟上师慈悲。So with Headmaster Lim's permission, we are going to end tonight's session here. And we thank Headmaster Lim. We thank all of the masters who have made time to be here, grace us with all of your presence as well. Thank you to Sister Sim for the detailed explanation of the Four Noble Truths. And remember, we will see all of you on the online Zoom class next Monday. So that will be at the same timing on the 25th of August. So the next lesson is actually going to be about the Noble Eightfold Path, right? So this is a continuation of the Four Noble Truths, and then we learn about the Noble Eightfold Path, the specific guidance that the Buddha had given us on different aspects of our lives. So hopefully more will join for the next lesson next Monday. And then also remember the date of the one-day class in Kathmandu, 30th of August, 8:30 a.m. till 4 p.m. So that's all for tonight. Thank you so much once again, Headmaster Lim. Thank you all masters. Thank you all brothers and sisters.
感谢
Dhanyavad.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all masters, brothers and sisters.
Thank you. Good
Brother
night.
Wang.
Good
Brother
night,
Wang, thank you
Good
very
everyone.
much.
night.
Thank you,
Bye.
all the masters.
Thank you, everybody.
Sister.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
晚安啊！你们是
感恩
早，
感恩，谢谢梁师，谢谢梁师，谢谢梁师。
谢谢梁师，谢谢感恩，谢谢薛
感恩
讲
感恩，
师，
谢谢。
谢谢。
顾讲师
Thank you,
平安
brother.
谢谢，
感谢
感恩，谢谢，谢谢，好，
就是应该平安的。
好，谢谢，拜拜，
拜。
拜拜。
拜拜。